Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Home Lee, and welcome to the Home Lee 665 channel. I apologize for not getting some updates out to y'all. I've got a couple of videos that I shot stuff for back in July that I've been trying to get some firing footage and chronograph stuff together for you guys, and the weather just hasn't cooperated with me. Every chance that I have had the time, it's been too wet, so I've not been able to get out and do some actual firing footage, and I would like to try to get some shots over my chronograph when it's actually kind of sunny out and decent weather, so that I can make sure that my numbers are fairly accurate, because I've been some of the numbers that I've gotten that I've shown on here, I've had some people tell me that they thought my numbers were a little bit low compared to what things should be getting, or what they thought things were getting. So I'm trying to work on that and get some decent information for you guys on that. But today I've got a mail call episode that I'm going to do. I've got a couple of pieces of mail here that I'm going to go over with you guys. As you can see here, I've got my Coop 772 tactics enclosed. This is box 4. This will be the final box of the Coop 772 subscription experience. As far as I know, his video for this isn't even out yet, so I'm going to dive into that with you guys here in a minute. But to begin with, got this box. This box comes from Germany. It's from our pals at ReArmory, Renee Essing. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Renee does some pretty good 3D modeling and things like that. Y'all may have seen there was a strife kit that I purchased earlier in the year for myself. You've got to be quick with his kits, because they get bought up pretty quickly. But I made an order with him the other day. I've got a couple of things that are in here that I'm going to be using that are for me, and then I've got a few things that are in here that I'm planning on using as a gift to someone else, so they can put some stuff together. We've got our invoice here. Yep. First off, we've got the little sort of bits and bobs bag that's got like the under rail piece. That's the part of the top rail of the sight. These pieces go in on the sides of the strife, give you some rail. Drop that piece. These pieces, if I remember correctly, help hold some of the stuff on, help hold things into place. But he told me that he was a little bit delayed in sending things out, and he said he would drop a couple of extra things in for me. And I believe, just from first glance, I'm pretty sure these are the extra parts that he threw in. This is a strife trigger and mag release that he has modeled up and 3D printed to kind of match the rest of the kit, and they're really neat and skeletonized looking. These are pretty awesome. I'm kind of jealous of those pieces. Those are very good looking, and they're very well printed pieces. We've got that part. Here we have a under barrel kind of angled foregrip piece, I believe this is. that goes on there. And this is a barrel shroud. Got a nice 3D printed barrel shroud. Got his emblem on it there. Man, the quality of his print is just so awesome. This is the hand guard piece that this piece here goes on the heel of the stripe. This goes up towards your trigger well and gives you a nice little hand guard in there. This is the barrel piece that kind of matches the kit. It says ReArmory on it, and this goes into the front of the blaster. Your faux barrel goes on the aluminum piece there, and it gives it a fairly unique look on things. That's a pretty good look for the front end of a stripe. And then lastly, this piece of top rail that latches in on the front. You've got a sight there with your front post. Nice little Picatinny rail that works up real nice. And again, this stuff is a kit that I'm accumulated as a gift to someone else, and I really appreciate him tossing in those extra pieces. That's going to make the gift even nicer, and it'll mean even more so. Now to the parts that I purchased for myself. He has modeled up some pieces for the Nemesis, and I've got a Nemesis I'm wanting to work on a little bit, get switched over to 3S. This is a front end piece that he has modeled up, and I'm holding it right side up now. It says ReArmory on the side. It's got his emblem there. That's pretty mean looking. I'll probably need to add some orange to the front of that to be safe, but I think right now he's just printing it up like in black and white and maybe blue. I don't know if he's offering orange right now, but I may add some orange paint to this to kind of set it off and make it outdoor play safe. But I mean, that's a really awesome front end. And then another piece that he's just recently released that looks really, really cool is this is a battery door cover, and it's got a hole for a voltmeter, so you can bolt your voltmeter in there. It's got his emblem on it. It says ReArmory on the side, and it's got a really sort of futuristic laser rifle look to it. It's definitely got its own aesthetic. I think this is going to be awesome. This is going to look awesome. I'm going to have to email him and hit him up, because the voltmeters, like Out of Darts and Foam Blast cells, none of them have the exact measurements of this. I'm hoping I can find, it looked like the one that he had that he used took up this whole thing. I'm hoping I can find what he used on that. If not, I'm going to have to take like a piece of sheeting and cut it to that size and mount a smaller voltmeter in that. But I mean, that looks pretty awesome. Person might even, I know some people have been taking like the chrono barrel apart, doing stuff with it, or ammo counter kind of thing. Person might even be able to rig something like that up in there. But that's some really cool stuff, and these parts are some that he just got modeled up and just started selling recently, and I was lucky enough to catch them in stock in his Etsy store. There will be a link in the description below to his Etsy. He does a really awesome job modeling and has some really cool stuff that I recommend you guys check out. All right, next up we've got our final Coop 772 subscription box. And I've already kind of popped it open and I've glanced at what's inside. There's an instruction sheet here where you can do your own tactical dart testing. Gives you advice for creating the target, preparing the blaster, fire darts, recording data, and analyzing your data. And he gives you some tips to do your own dart tests and things like that. And you've even got a target back here that you can use, or you could potentially make copies of. And you can do the Raytheon Elite tips, Raytheon waffle tips, Raytheon Koosh tip, AccuFake, and accurate nipple tip. And then test conducted by firing distance and observation. So he's got a really cool little target set up for that. It's printed on some cardstock. That's really nice. Tearing the blue tissue paper for the last time here. I mean, it's kind of sad that this didn't work out. I mean, it was a bit of a niche market. He took a chance on it. It didn't work out. I hate it for him, but I feel like I got some pretty cool gear out of it. Maybe it's not for everybody, but first thing that we see here is a little drawstring bag, or patches sticking to it. So, little drawstring bag that says keep calm and stay tactical. Got a couple of cross darts on it. This is a pretty thick bag. I like that. That's a pretty nice drawstring bag. We've got some accurate nipple tip darts. We've got our keep calm and fling foam badge. We've got some various Ray Squad darts. We've got the Elite tips in white. You've got the Koosh tips in black, and the waffle heads in the lime green. Those are pretty cool. I like the Ray Squad darts. It's what I ran at End War as far as regular Elite darts went, or well, I should say my wife ran. And then we've got some AccuFakes here that don't have a name brand on them. Pretty decent looking AccuFakes, yellow with gray heads. And we've got a worker, it's a 5cm top rail mount. I don't know if this converts Nerf to Picatinny rail, or I would assume that's what it is. Got a couple of grub screws in there with it, but it gives you a little bit of tack rail, so you can attach tack rail to your blaster Picatinny rail. And then we've got us a laser sight, and it's got places for batteries to go in there, but it don't have batteries in with it. I'm wondering if, I don't know, it's got an Allen wrench in there with it, but it's not in the spot it's supposed to be. Okay, I see the batteries now. And I'm willing to bet he threw this in to help us with our accuracy testing on our darts. That way we could aim at the same point every time. Well, came with 2 Allen keys. These batteries are kind of bound up together. and try to get through the plastic or the tape or whatever here that's holding them together. Apparently I'm going to need to speed through part of this. This is taking longer than it reasonably should. There we go. I'm hoping I didn't tear that up, and these were supposed to be in that when you put them in here. And we've got a little bit of a dot there. There we go. Yeah, it was kind of odd how that came on without having that lid on, but that's a pretty good little laser sight. Just reflected that into my eye. That was bright. Yeah, pretty good little laser sight. I mean, it's nothing exactly to write home about, but it's small. It's not going to take up a lot of space, and there we go. I was wanting to cross thread on me a minute ago. There, we got it. Now that'll be a handy little addition, especially if you're wanting to test for accuracy on a blaster. You know, you mount it and consistently, you know, have a consistent point of aim for what you're doing. I like that, and you've got that Picatinny rail to mount it on, so that'll be pretty cool. But that is my mail call, I guess, for September. I don't really have a whole lot else to show. I've got a couple other videos in the works that I need to get things finished up on, but I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, and I'd like to remind you to keep flinging that foam.